Basilwood has loads of energy, and he was often rushing about and bumping into things. Basil's mum could always be heard saying things like, "Basil, don't slide down the banisters, you'll hurt yourself." "What was that noise? What have you broken now, Basil?"
Joy Sanders, who's lived in Rainham for 40 years, writes children's and adult fiction under her pen name of Elizabeth Turner. But for the first time, these fairy stories are aligned to a project that was dreamt up by a local mum, Kaylee Ward, to inspire people to explore the recreation ground, with the idea that fairies are using trails to look after this green space.
What fairies are you looking for?
Pink and rainbow ones and purple,
Why?
because they are my favourite colours. I walk around and I see fairy doors on that tree with no leaves. It is a pink one. Over there. I like walking around and finding fairy doors.
What makes it good?
Finding them.
What ones do you like the best?
Golden ones.
The fairy stories were commissioned before the pandemic, so this is the first year they'll really find their audience. Joy wrote for her own children when they were young and then took a creative writing course and had a specific idea for the Rec fairy tales.
People come into my head, characters arrive, and they won't shut up until I've done something with them. But I wanted to make them stories that weren't just stories, but stories that might create a conversation. So there's a story about a very naughty fairy who has to learn to treat trees with respect. There's one who is very untidy, and she ends up being in charge of litter in the Rec because she's learned her lesson. I think my favourite is Finbar. Finbar can't fly very well, and so he gets left out a lot, but he discovers that maybe there are other things he can do. I was rather hoping that, parents and children might take thoughts away with them and conversations could start.
Having written for pleasure all her life, Joy has enjoyed seeing the impact of the fairies on the children using the Rec.
Watching children with their parents shouting, "Mum, there's another one you've got to come and see." It was just so lovely to see them enjoying the park together, knowing that they had a purpose to be there and there were things to find, and it was just really exciting. I think it's a wonderful idea.
The tales of the Recreation Ground fairies, Basil, Willow, Finbar, Clara and Bella, can be found on the Rec Facebook page. Sandy Fleming for Rainham News.